Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shiva Hum, Om. Welcome to an encore Satsang with your host Chuck the Yogi from the Yogi Cave. And the reason why I'm doing this encore Satsang is to honor Lord Shiva with a bit of Yogi Hari, which is something, CD I acquired back in the late 90s, an old San Juan. I was before streaming, so I was very fortunate in acquiring Yogi Hari. Yogi Hari is whenever I'm on a long trip, especially on a Monday, I'll play Yogi Hari. Om Namah Shivaya. Anyway, also 50. I'm on the eve of completing my 50th video. This would be my 49th, and 5 is very sacred to Lord Shiva. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so perfect night to do this encore. And whatever happens after this will be up to the self and up to you, because I feel like I've left enough breadcrumbs along the way, and I feel like I've given enough proof and seals my understanding of the Dharma. So I just know that I don't know, as Socrates said, and I like to keep my I don't know mine because it keeps me grounded. So I don't know whether I'm going to stop tomorrow from doing this or stop 20 years from now. Again, that'll depend on the self and on you. Anyway, so let us continue. I left off at 3.36. Veda tiras kare salgantara karmantvam. Translation: when a yogi ceases to see differences, he attains the power to create a new universe. Commentary: computer programs currently have the capacity to create an infinite universe with only 3 gigabytes of hard disk space. This capacity is not relegated to yogis alone. Anyone that has mastered the power of observation can apply these principles and create marvels. The difference strides in that a yogi is not subject nor allured by the power of his own creations, whereas jivas very much tend to be allured by the power of their own creations and rhetoric. Jai Makan. So, creating a universe. This is the age of where we can become entrapped by our own creations, completely locked into our own echo chambers, sucked into our own rabbit holes. This is the age where all that is possible and more. And put AI and algorithms into that mix, and you have one hell of a century. So yes, the idea of creating your own universe is very much applicable. It's very technically possible. It's already been done. So this idea of creating universes and alternate realities and all this other stuff is nothing new to a yogi. 3.37. Karana Shakti Hisva Tonu Bhavat. Translation: the power to create extraordinary things exists in him naturally on account of his experience of the divine power. Commentary: the sutra is pretty self-explanatory and needs no further elaboration. So let's leave it there. 3.38. Tripad Adi Anu Prananam. Translation: Turiya, the fourth state, should enliven and interpenetrate with 3 other states. Commentary: this simply means that the yogi is in a constant state of gamma, theta, delta during his waking and relaxed moments of the day and night. Never does he leave that state. Jaimaka. So again, going back to the Om, remembering that symbol, right? These three states, which can be compared to past, present, future, the three states of mind, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, or alpha, beta, delta. But then there's this other state right here, right? And the singularity on top of that, Om. And that could be explained as gamma, theta, delta, right? And then there's that singularity on top of that bowl, which is beyond all states. And the yogi is always focused on that stateless state. This is why the Buddha refused to describe nirvana. And the closest thing that the Upanishads came to describing it was neti neti. Not this, not that. That which remains is. Anyway. 3.39. Chitas titiva sharira karana bahyeshu. Translation: just as the mind is fixed in turiya during meditation, so too during the ordinary conscious life of the body, senses, and objects, one should remain established in the inner consciousness. Even the mind is turned outward. The sutra is self-explanatory and needs no further elaboration. So let's move on to the other one. 3.40. Abhilashat bahirgatihi sambah yasya. Translation: when the jiva does not experience the state of turiya, he goes out on account of desire for objects and is carried from birth to birth. Commentary: the turiya and turiyatita mindset are critical as the golden thread was for Theseus to find his way out of the labyrinth. Jaimaka. So, turiya and turiyatita, that state feeds off of each other. It's almost like the understanding of self as a unity and self as a duality between the greater and the smaller self, a reflection of each other. Turiya, turiyatita, turiya, turiyatita. A feedback loop, let's call it that. So we can understand that that state, that singularity at the very top of the Om, is kind of a feedback loop. Going back to the torus, feeding back into itself and feeding back out of itself. Turiya, turiyatita. Black hole in, white hole out. Forever, ever and ever. Timeless state. Anyway, 3.41. Tararupda pramites tat kshayaj jiva samkshayaha. Translation: when one is established in turiya, all of one's desires are destroyed. Hence, one's existence as a limited individual being also comes to an end. Commentary: this can happen even while the yogi still lives and breathes. Jivan Mukta. In that case, he's called a Jivan Mukta, or Jivan Mukti. If he incarnates on earth, he will be called a Navaduta, Jaimaka. So again, the yogi is always in turiya turiyatita state, beyond paramagati. If he's in that state, even while living, he's Navaduta, or Jivan Mukti. right? Jivamukti as he leaves, Avadhuta as he comes back in, out, in, out. So, yeah, I won't go further into that. Let's see. Let's leave it there, because these are getting more and more complex, and then I'm going to be moving into a super concentrated sutra, which I'm not going to get into right now. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, so caffeine has run out of my brain, so I'm kind of mumbling at this point. So let me leave it there. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Om. Shiva Hum. Om. Jai Ma. Jai Mahakal. Till next time.